second, it is chatting. Yes.
Perfect.
So yeah, welcome everyone to the Sitecore User Group Kerala. This is our first webinar which we are hosting after we have launched. So yeah, here we have Tamas Varga, who is working as the Director of Community Programs in Sitecore, and he is here to share about the Sitecore community, how we can learn and support through Sitecore community online and offline. So yeah, over to you, Thomas.
Thank you so much for the invitation. I'm always happy to talk about the community. This is really close to my heart. And just for you to understand why it is important for me, because since 2006, I'm part of this community. I started my first Sitecore certification 18 years ago, and it was version 5.1. And since then, I was part of the community. I was a Sitecore MVP for 6 years before joining Sitecore. Currently, I work as part of the technical marketing team, and I'm responsible for all the community relations and the MVP program. And if you have any questions about this, you can always email me, or you can find me on LinkedIn. The only request I have for you, if you connect with me on LinkedIn, please mention that how do we know each other, or where did you hear me talking, so at least we have something common. So I try to support everyone and try to connect with everyone, but just helps me to know that, how do we know each other, okay? So, being part of the technical marketing team, we have this vision that we would like to inspire and enable the technical audiences of Sitecore to unlock the full potential of the platform. So, on this team, we have a lot of people and former MVPs, and we really try to cover all the time zones. But the most important thing is that we inspire and enable the community. And it can be done in multiple ways, online and offline. And while you are connecting with the community, you can learn, and you can also support others. And these are the three main online pillars, how we connect with the community. We do have the Sitecore Community portal, which is community.sitecore.com. And you can find forums there, you can find a news board, events, and many other things, also including many user groups are listed there. So I really suggest everyone to go to the community portal, use your Sitecore ID, log in and interact. If you have questions, you can ask there and learn from others. If you think that you know the answer for something, you can also go there and answer some of the questions there. It's really similar that we have the community Slack chat. Of course, it's not a forum, but a chat. So it's a little bit different way to interact with the community. But being there, you can learn a lot from others, asking and answering questions. And also, if you have a question, you can ask there. And also, you can answer some questions there. So again, a different way of interacting, but being engaged on the community Slack, you can learn and you can support the community. The third pillar is the Sitecore Stack Exchange. Hopefully, most of you already know that the Sitecore Stack Exchange is a Q&A website where you can ask and answer questions, but you can also answer your own questions. So if you have a knowledge that you encountered during a project, or you learned something new, you can always go there, you can raise a question, and you can also answer yourself. The Stack Exchange is really good because it tracks your reputation. So if you ask a good question, you can get points. If you answer a question, you can get points, and all these points adds up. And there's a leaderboard. So someone who is competitive, I always encourage them to go to Stack Exchange and answer questions there, but also ask questions, because that's also worth some points. Of course, besides these three main pillars, there are many, many ways online where you can learn about Sitecore. One of them is Discover Sitecore, the YouTube channel we have with more than 8,000 subscribers and 1 million views. We try to post videos there quite regularly on different topics. Some of them are more videos on technical topics, but some of them are also podcasts. We have a couple of podcasts there. We have also podcasts for marketing or more strategy focused individuals. So not only technical topics. So I really recommend you go to YouTube and sign up or subscribe for Discover Sitecore because it's really good content, a lot to learn from. We also have a monthly newsletter for developers. So this is collecting information from the community, blog posts, and of course, important events like the user group conference or something like when Sitecore acquires Musen, we will put in the newsletter. So if you subscribe to the newsletter, you will always get the latest news and curated blog posts from our team. We also manage events and webinars. These are really good ways to learn. And one of the big event we used to have is the Virtual Developer Day. We didn't do it for a couple of years, but we might have it back next year. We will see. But always look for these events and webinars in the newsletter or on the community portal. We always publish them there. So if there is anything going on, this is a great way to learn. There is also the Sitecore developer portal. So if you are more in the technical audience, you can find a lot of information from all of our products. Also, this portal is collecting information from YouTube, from the documentation side, from Stack Exchange, from the community. So this is really a collecting piece where you can go there and in one place you can find a lot of information from multiple sources. If you are on LinkedIn, you can also find the Sitecore group on LinkedIn. It has more than 13,000 members. So again, a really good way to share your knowledge, your blog post, but also if you have a question and you would like to ask the opinion of the other members, you can also do that in the LinkedIn group. Twitter, or nowadays called X, is quite active. And if you just filter for #Sitecore or #Sitecore Community, you can find a lot of information there. The popularity is a little bit less than a couple of years ago, but I think it's still a valuable resource especially if you already have a Twitter account. But also the community helps us to be on other channels too. So the Facebook group, the Reddit, and the Telegram is not managed by Sitecore, but one of the community members. And you can, if you are more into Facebook or to Reddit or Telegram, you can also find similar information and collecting the information from the different sources. So I really recommend anyone, if you are on one of these channels, to look for Sitecore and sign up for updates from these channels. These are the online ways to meet each other. But of course, there are Sitecore user groups. Some of the user groups are virtual, like this one, but there are other user groups all around the globe, which is in person. So Sitecore enthusiasts get together after work and talk about topics that really interest them, share their experience, maybe have something to eat and something to drink. But it's really important that these user groups are a fundamental part of knowing more about Sitecore and also to learn the community and engage with the community. A couple of years ago, some of these user groups got together and created the first user group conference. I have a short timeline here for you. So just to understand that when it started and how it grew over the years. So the first user group conference was in the Netherlands in 2014, 18 sessions and only 19 attendees. And from there, the conference grew to the Benelux, so Belgium, Netherlands, and Luxembourg. After that, there was a Nordic developer conference and the first user group conference in North America in 2015. Officially, we call the first user group conference in Europe in 2016. More and more attendees and more sessions. And every year we try to grow it. The first user group conference in India was in 2018 in Bangalore. And this year we are going back to Bangalore again. In 2019, we had 3 conferences, one in Europe with 640 attendees. Can you imagine that many people? And after that, we had a conference in Australia and India also. So all these are really milestones when we talk about, again, how to connect with the community, how to learn from the community. We had virtual events during the pandemic. And in 2022, we had 2 conferences, one in Europe, one in Australia. And we try to engage and share knowledge, and different people from the community get together to share their love about Sitecore. And last year we had 4 conferences, one in Europe, one in India, in New Delhi, one in North America, Minneapolis, and in Australia, Brisbane. All of these conferences were a huge success, and hopefully some of you were able to attend it. And this year, in 2 weeks' time, we meet again in Bangalore. So hopefully some of you will be there and we can meet there in person. But, during the conference, if you cannot attend, you can follow one of those channels I just mentioned, LinkedIn, Twitter, Facebook, or Reddit, and you will find all these posts about the different sessions, taking photos with Dave and Steve and being people on stage. And after the conference, everyone is sad that we have to leave because usually the community gets together at a really good time and meeting great people and learning a lot about Sitecore. And every year, all of those individuals who are involved in these different channels, providing their knowledge and sharing their experience with others, we award them with the most valuable professional award. This award really highlights that someone is contributing to the community. It's not about, it's not a certification, it's not about the knowledge, but the way someone is sharing their passion and experience with the community. The Sitecore MVPs represents the top 1% of the Sitecore community. We have a couple of people who is there from the beginning of the program. We started the MVP program in 2008, and we have more than 100 MVPs in the program for more than 5 years. And these MVPs are in 3 categories. Ambassador categories for those individuals who provide value by influencing customers and decision makers and providing product feedback and references to Sitecore and to the community. The strategy categories for those marketer or digital strategist or strategists in general who again share their knowledge and experience in marketing and how to use Sitecore as a marketing platform with the users and customers and implementation teams. And the technology category, which is the oldest category, is for individuals who is knowledgeable about Sitecore, but they are participating online and offline communities to share their knowledge. It's really important that we are not assessing someone's knowledge, but we are assessing their contribution, and the contribution has to have a quality. It's really important that the quality is more important than a quantity. You might be asking that, how can someone be a Sitecore MVP? So I have some diagrams for you about this application process. So if you have a Sitecore ID, you can go to the MVP website and you can log in with your Sitecore ID. If not, you can create an account and log in and fill in an application. You can save it for later, but you have to submit your application no later than end of November. The application form has some confirmations that you have contributed to the community, that you understand the privacy policy, and you understand that you can always opt out from any communication from us. but also asking for things like what MVP category you would like to be awarded. As I mentioned, the 3 category, you can figure out which one fits for you the best. And you need to provide your contributions every time. You can provide the contributions for the last year or so. And so every year, every MVP has to provide this information again and again. So it's even if you are selected once to become an MVP, after that, you have to apply again and you have to provide your contributions to the community. We ask for a date because we would like to know, what date it was, mostly because we would like, it's a yearly award, so we would like to see, when it was during the year. You can give the contribution a name, you can select a type, and you can assign it to a product. You can provide a link where we can verify your contribution. And when you have done that, you have to confirm and submit your application. And you need to agree that Sitecore employees and other MVPs are also reviewing your submission. And when you are selected in the MVP program, you need to sign an MVP agreement and that you confirm that your application is ready to be reviewed and processed. How this review goes. So as I mentioned, that you have to submit your application by the end of November. The review process starts at the beginning of December, and there are 3 separate teams who are reviewing all the applications. So new applicants who were not MVPs the previous year are reviewed by current MVPs. There are corporate teams who are reviewing the applications per category. So for every category, we have individuals inside Sitecore who are reviewing the applications per category. And we have regional teams who are reviewing the applications per region. So every regional team also have a say on who is becoming an MVP and who is not. This process takes really 2 months because I'm the one running it, but I'm not evaluating it. I'm not the one selecting the MVPs, but I'm working with more than 100 people, MVPs and Sitecoreans or Sitecore employees who are doing these reviews. And I really have to make sure that all the applications reviewed by at least 2 people. Sometimes the applications are reviewed by 4, but sometimes even 6 individuals. So I have to make sure that all the reviews are in. I need to summarize it, and I have meetings with all the reviewers just to make sure that we are selecting the right individuals. And when we are reviewing and scoring the applications, we are looking at 4 major areas. One of them is what kind of content this applicant has produced. Content includes blogs, videos, podcasts, white papers, or the answers on Stack Exchange, or any open source modules you have created. The other area is engagement, all your social media activities, engagement on community forum or Slack or Discord or Reddit or Telegram, all these engagements with the community count. And the third area is public speaking. Of course, all the presentation at the different user groups or the conferences we have, including symposium, or can it be industry conference or webinars? This all belongs to public speaking. And the fourth area is feedback and references. So any support tickets you created, of course, mainly we are looking for, bug, but also feature request can be something. But of course, support tickets where you messed up your configuration, it doesn't really count. But if you found a bug, if you have feedback, if you have a new feature request, that all counts in this category. But also, if you're doing any beta testing or trainings or anything else we have, that's also part of this category. And being part of the Partner Advisory Council or the Customer Leadership Board, but also part of this area. And in all areas, we are looking for quality, quantity, and visibility. So the scores can be in all of these outstanding, meets expectations, below expectations, or not applicable or unacceptable. and we weight some areas more than others. So content in technology category has more weight than engagement, but other categories like the ambassador has more weight on public speaking and references and feedback. So this is what we have here, and this is how we rate all the MVP application. I'm not only telling you because we expect everyone to be an MVP, but I'm telling this to you because you can see that what kind of ways you can contribute to the community. Again, creating content, engaging on social media or the different forums we have, or public speaking, or sharing your knowledge through webinars and conferences and events, or providing feedback and references to Sitecore and to the community. So basically what we want that everyone who is part of the community, first of all, they get their questions answered. Second of all, if you know the answer to some of the questions that come up in the community, you can contribute and you can make the community better. Here is an example that someone gets scores, and this individual was reviewed by Dylan Young, and you can see that mostly this individual meets expectation and have scores for these categories in quality, quantity, and visibility. Maybe the quantity is a little bit below expectation for content, but all in all, this individual got 96% of the scores by Dylan. So again, this is just an example. It's maybe good to know, but again, we don't expect all of you to become an MVP, but if you are considering it, you know how it goes. The final stage of the MVP selection process is the announcement. So after we made the final decision at the end of January, we make a press release and we notify the MVPs a couple of days before the announcement goes out. And on the day of the announcement, we also notify the applicants who were not selected. And those who were not selected receive an email, and in this email they get some feedback on what we think they should do, and we provide them some kind of advice for next year. It's really important that the MVP program is more than just an award. The MVP program is a year-long program where we have webinars. Sometimes we have regional meetings, which is not that anymore after the pandemic, but we used to have them and we try to get them back. We organize feedback sessions with the different product teams at Sitecore. Also, Sitecore MVPs get early access to the program, to different in the program to different releases. So 1 month before the 10.4 release, the MVPs got access to that, so they can start testing it, seeing the new features, installing it. So you might have seen that on the release of 10.4, the day of the release, many blog posts, many videos came out because the MVPs already had early access. The highlight of the MVP program is the MVP Summit, which is a complimentary event for all the MVPs. Usually it's together with Symposium. So the day before Symposium, we get together with the MVPs. They have the chance to meet Sitecore executives, also member of the product teams and other teams from Sitecore who are involved in the MVP program. And they can network with the Sitecore employees, but also they can network with each other and learn from each other at the MVP Summit. There are other benefits like getting access to and license to different Sitecore software. And also they get discount at different Sitecore events. And so all this is part of the MVP program. 2 years ago, we started the Community Mentor Program, where existing MVPs are mentoring those individuals who would like to be part of the community, and they support their journey to start contributing and start being part of the community. In 2023, we had more than 160 members, And in 2014, we have more than 200 members from multiple countries and companies. And these individuals work together on a monthly basis, and they support each other in this journey to become part of the Sitecore community. One of the mentees in the program, BN from the Philippines, was already a Sitecore developer, but he wanted to establish the Sitecore community in the Philippines. So he worked with mentor, and after or during the year, he established the user group in the Philippines, and he started the community in the Philippines, which is really good for us, and to see that thinking outside of the box and connecting with more people is really possible to do this. And again, today we are here at the first user group. So this is a good way to interact with the community and support the community as you organize a user group. Mostly this is what I wanted to talk to you about today. If you have any questions, you can always connect us through email. If you have questions about the community, you can email us community@sitecore.com, or regarding the MVP program and the mentor program, you can email mvp-program@sitecore.com, and we will be happy to get back to you. But also today we have some time to answer some questions here.
Yeah, thank you, Thomas. It was very detailed information about the community and the MVPs. We do have one question which is raised by Frank regarding the Sitecore account part. So, could you please respond to that?
So the question is regarding the Sitecore account. My inserts are not part of my Sitecore account. Not really sure what kind of inserts. Changing this seems to have zero effect, because when logging out and logging back in, it's back how it was. This means that my name is always shown as Frank rather than... okay. Is there any way to have this changed? If yes, please email me, Frank, and I will try to get that fixed for you. And sorry for the inconvenience. I don't know why that part is missing from your name, but please email me and I will try to do my best to get that fixed as soon as possible. If you have any question, you can put it in the chat, or I don't know, you can raise your hand and we can that way.
Yeah, I hope there are no more questions, but Thomas, he is always reachable. You can reach to him via Slack, via email, or via social media like LinkedIn. So he will be able to answer any of the questions that you have. So Frank has the same question. So Thomas, can you provide your email address?
Yes, yeah. So you can, it seems like, I can. So you can email my personal one, tamas.varga@sitecore.com, or you can always use community@sitecore.com. So all these works.
Okay, thank you, Thomas. That was very informative. So thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Hope to meet you soon with new sessions and additional sharing of your knowledge. So thank you so much.
Thank you for inviting me, and have a great rest of your day. Thank you, everybody. Bye-bye.